Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four, has had many alternate versions over the years, so let's talk about some of the most interesting versions, including one that consists of all Thors. Yeah, that's the thing. What's up, my comic comrades? The Fantastic Four is among the most popular and fan-loved teams in all of comics, which is why so many fans have their fingers crossed that the MCU will do them justice. However, before we get the MCU version, we're going to take a look at some of the coolest and best alternate versions of the team that have appeared in comics, and there are some pretty freaking cool ones. We also recently posted a couple of fun episodes for those of you who've been looking for the return of the podcast, with the first being our spoiler review of The Flash, and the most recent being a risky round of agree or disagree between Tim and I. You can check both of those out right here, and we're also excited to announce that the podcast will be returning to a regular weekly schedule on July 24th. So there will be a whole bunch of new and fun stuff coming at you every Monday with the return of Variant the Podcast. So mark July 24th on your calendars. Now, before we get into some alternate versions, we have to mention the version of the team every other is based off of, and that is the original Fantastic Four, debuting in Fantastic Four issue 1 in November of 1961. Created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Marvel's first family is what kicked off the Stan Lee Marvel Universe. Characters like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Hulk, Black Panther, the X-Men, and so many more that follow. For those of you who don't know the origin of the Fantastic Four, famed scientist Reed Richards, along with his girlfriend Sue Storm, her brother Johnny Storm, and Reed's best friend Ben Grimm, were on a mission testing Reed Richards' spaceship, which was capable of reaching planets beyond Earth's moon, when they were hit with cosmic rays. The team would then crash land back to Earth, but now with each of them having incredible powers. Reed Richards gained the power to stretch, Sue Storm could turn invisible, Johnny Storm could turn his body into fire, and Ben Grimm's body was changed into orange rock, giving him incredible strength. Soon they would become the superhero team known as the Fantastic Four, being the foundation for the Marvel we know today and one of the most important teams in all of comics. With that said, the first alternate versions we're going to mention is the Four Fantastics. This version of the team is from Exiles issue 95. In this reality, we see that Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom have swapped places essentially, with Doom being the leader of this version of the team. But that's not the only change. The Thing has also been swapped out for the Incredible Hulk. However, Sue and Johnny still remain on the team. In any case, in this series, the Exiles went to a reality where they found this version of the team, again called the Four Fantastics. Now, even though Doom was the leader of this team, the heroes in this world loved him. We find out through Reed Richards, who is the mole man of this universe, as seen in issue 96, that Doom has genetically tampered with everyone on this Earth to make them serve him. So even in this reality, Doom is all about conquering others and having them obey him. Either way, this is a really dope version of the team, and the fact that Doom is the leader and Hulk replaced the Thing, that's definitely an upgrade. Now, you all know I'm not much of a gamer, but I do love a good immersive mobile game, and I was recently introduced to the Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth game, and it's freaking awesome. Today's sponsor, the Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth, is a new CRPG that lets you collect your favorite characters, both good and evil, and then explore Middle-earth. I'm talking you could relive your favorite stories along with some new ones rooted in Tolkien's works. For instance, in one of the main new stories, you discover a previously unknown ring of power that you could use to forge a different course for Middle-earth. So it gives you the best of both options. Also, one of our favorite legendary characters, Lord Elrond, is coming soon to Heroes of Middle-earth, and you'll want to jump on and collect 5 Elven characters before his Legendary Adventure event starts on June 26th. Legendary Adventures are limited time events that give players an opportunity to upgrade their characters and unlock powerful legendary characters. Legendary Adventures may return in the future, but are only available for a short time, so make sure to be prepared with 5 Elven characters. Even if you miss Elrond's Legendary Adventure event, there are still a crap ton of exciting Lord of the Rings characters to collect and stories to explore. So if you're a Lord of the Rings fan or you love a great CRPG, just download Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth for free using the link in the description or by scanning the QR code with your phone. You can thank us later. Next up, we have the Fantastic Five from the What If Spider-Man Joined the Fantastic Four. From What If, issue 1. In the issue, we see that Spider-Man needs to find a way to make money, so he figures he'd go try out to be a member of the Fantastic Four, as they are a famous public superhero team. But his tryout is him busting into the Baxter building and systematically taking out each member of the team before they all get back up and start to attack him all at once, with Mr. Fantastic saying, "Tell us what you're here for." Spider-Man responds, "It's about time someone asked me. I came here to join up with you. I want to be a member of the Fantastic Four. So I thought I'd give you a demonstration of what I can do. Let's get down to business. How much does the job pay?" Mr. Fantastic says, "We pay no salaries or bonuses. Any profit we make goes into scientific research. We just keep enough money to pay our expenses." At which point, Spider-Man web swings out the window, but Sue says, "Spider-Man, wait, come back." So he does. Susan says maybe we could afford him after all. Reed says we could always use some more sheer power in the group. Besides, I have been considering finding some ways to dole out more spending money to you others. Maybe Spider-Man could pull his weight in the Fantastic Four. Long story short, they agree to let him join the team, and the Fantastic Four make a public announcement saying, from now on, we are the Fantastic Five, revealing the 5 emblem on their chest and that Spider-Man is the new 5th member. However, after getting into a battle with Namor, the comic ends with Sue's death and the team going back to being the Fantastic Four, as there are now 4 members once again. Moving along, we have the Fearsome Four from the House of M storyline, specifically the 3-issue Fantastic Four House of M miniseries. In the event known as House of M, the Scarlet Witch basically rewrote and modified all of reality. Doom was given his desires. His mother was alive, he was the all-powerful king of Latveria, and he was married to his childhood sweetheart, Valerie, and he had an adopted son named Kristoff. So with all the stuff he's ever wanted, he decided to take this one step further and make him and his family a twisted mirror version of the Fantastic Four, giving himself powers similar to Mr. Fantastic. He also gave his wife powers, calling her the Invincible Woman, and his son powers, calling him the Inhuman Torch. Oh, and did I mention he kept Ben Grimm in this reality, but instead called him a pet called It, giving us the Fearsome Four. But as we know, this wouldn't stick after the heroes were awakened and this team in reality were reset. But it still gave us a pretty interesting version of the team. Now, you all know I love my amalgam versions of teams and characters. The amalgam universe takes a Marvel character and mixes it with a DC character, giving us one entirely new character. The Challengers of the Fantastic is what we got when they mixed the Fantastic Four with DC's Challengers of the Unknown. For those of you not familiar with the Challengers of the Unknown, they're a group of non-superhero adventurers from the DC universe, created by Jack Kirby. They're not really all that known, but the reason why they were used to make this amalgamation or version of the Fantastic Four is because they're often credited for being the inspiration for the Fantastic Four, as Jack Kirby worked on this team of heroes first. Anyway, the Challengers of the Fantastic consist of Sue A. Storm, who is a SHIELD agent, Reed Professor Richards, dynamic science genius, Johnny Red Storm, Daredevil youth, and Ben Rocky Grimm, two-fisted senator. The comic describes them as these are people of reckless courage who seek out and defy the fantastic which lurks in mysterious places, grimly coiled. They are the world's greatest death cheaters. They even fight a Galactus Brainiac hybrid. Next up, we have FF. This is a backup for the Fantastic Four, so to speak. You see, the Fantastic Four made a backup team as they went off-world to do their own thing, and that team was called FF. The team consisted of Scott Lang Ant-Man as the team's leader, Medusa, She-Hulk, and Darla Deering, aka Miss Thing. It was an interesting version of the team, and they got their own series which lasted 16 issues during the Marvel Now initiative. The most interesting member for me, though, is Darla Deering. You see, she was a pop star dating Johnny Storm. When Mr. Fantastic announced, "Hey Fantastic Four, we've got to go on a trip through space and time," he asked each member of the team to find a suitable replacement while they were gone. Johnny forgot, so he pretty much begged his girlfriend to take his spot. She does, and uses 2 rings that, when they touch together, create a Thing exoskeleton around her body. You guys remember the Thing rings from the Thing animated series? No? Here's a refresher. That's right, they made the Thing rings canon. Anyway, this was a fun temporary take on the team. Next up, we have the Mangaverse version of the Fantastic Four called the Mega Scale Meta Talent Response Team Fantastic Four. The team consists of Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Jonathan Storm, and Benjamin. They were members of an experiment into descriptive theory. They were held at the Alpha Base, located on the dark side of the moon. Now, like most experiments in comics and manga, it was a failure and almost everyone on the staff died, including its test subjects. I'm talking about completely vaporized or displaced into a different reality. But of course, the Fantastic Four survived and got superpowers. Next up, we have one I teased at the very beginning of this episode, and that is the Thor Corps, or the Fantastic Thors. They only appeared for 1 issue, but man, they were a cool concept. We saw them in Siege issue 4 from 2015. The cool thing about them is they were Doom's police force. That's right, they were a planetary police force, kind of sorta in the vein of the Green Lanterns, but made up of a group of Thors. The reason why they're referred to as the Fantastic Thors is because we basically see Asgardian Thor versions of Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and Thing, as you could see by the picture, and it is awesome. And finally, of course, we have to mention the Ultimate Fantastic Four. The Ultimate line of comic books was created to make an easy jumping on point, as well as giving an updated, refreshing take on Marvel's teams and characters. As for the Fantastic Four, their ultimate origin consists of Reed Richards creating a device that could teleport objects or people to the negative zone, or the end zone as it's called in the Ultimate Universe. The problem is Victor Von Dam, the Doom of this universe, was up to no good and messed with the calculations. This caused the Fantastic Four members along with Dan to be transported to the End Zone. And when they ultimately returned, they were mutated with superpowers. We also learned that the Baxter Building in this universe is not just their base of operations. No, it's a government think tank of sorts that literally funds Reed Richards' research. The biggest takeaway from the Ultimate Universe, though, is Reed Richards ultimately becoming the Maker, one of the deadliest villains in all of Marvel. Some would say he is even superior to Kang the Conqueror, which says a lot. But there you have it, guys, several of the coolest versions of the Fantastic Four. There's obviously more versions of the team we didn't mention, so let us know what your favorite versions are down in the comment section. Otherwise, I'll see you next time when we talk about all things comics.